Shit.
It's for real.
What happens when two of the biggest names in boxing collide in the most unexpected place? Not under the bright lights of Vegas, not in a packed arena, but inside Floyd Mayweather's private gym. That's exactly what went down when chaos erupted after Terence "Bud" Crawford threw hands at none other than Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, you heard that right. Bud and Canelo didn't wait for the fight contract, didn't wait for the press conferences, didn't wait for the DAZN cameras. They clashed in Floyd's own house, and things got heated fast.
He said, all you fuckers,
What happens when two of the biggest names in boxing collide in the most unexpected place? Not under the bright lights of Vegas, not in a sold-out arena, but inside Floyd Mayweather's private gym. That's exactly what went down when chaos erupted. Terence "Bud" Crawford threw hands at none other than Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, you heard that right. Bud and Canelo didn't wait for contracts, press conferences, or TV cameras. They clashed in Floyd's own house, and things got heated fast.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he could pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Let's rewind. From what we know, Canelo wasn't even supposed to run into Crawford that day. He pulled up to Mayweather's gym to confront Floyd himself. Why? Because Floyd has been poking at him lately, reminding the world that he beat Canelo years ago and calling him easy work. And you know what? That cut deep.
But here's the twist. Canelo didn't know Crawford was already in the building, training with Floyd. When Canelo cornered Floyd to vent his frustrations, Bud didn't stay quiet in the background. He stepped up. Words were exchanged, tempers spiked, and before anyone could blink, Bud threw a punch. One clean shot landed right on Canelo. The gym exploded. Trainers, bodyguards, and Mayweather's team all rushed in to break it up before it became a full-on brawl. But the message was already clear. Crawford had made his point.
There was some kind of crazy trash talk with Gervonta and Terence Crawford recently. And one of the things that I've always kind of noticed is most of the time, one of the things that's kind of off limits is families. Like you usually don't, you know.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, and so I wanted to kind of understand what your thoughts was about like some of those comments that was made. I think it was about Terence's wife. What, like in your mind, where? Because obviously, like you know, you've been in this sport.
I think Terence Crawford right now in the sport of boxing is the pound for pound best fighter in the sport of boxing right now. It's good to see him in the position that he's in. I think he has a beautiful family. I think he has a beautiful wife, a beautiful queen, a black queen. And there's nothing better than a black woman in this world. That's just my opinion. We all entitled to our opinion.
Now here's where it gets even spicier. Bud wasn't in Floyd's gym by accident. He and Mayweather have gotten close. Floyd has been one of Bud's loudest supporters recently. Remember when Gervonta Tank Davis started beefing with Crawford, even going as far as taking shots at Bud's family? Who stepped in to back Crawford? Floyd Mayweather himself. That's right, Floyd sided with Bud over his own former protege.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. As simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
That bond explains why Bud was sharpening up in Floyd's camp. And it makes perfect sense, too, because only two men in history have beaten Canelo Alvarez, Dimitri Bivol and Floyd Mayweather. With Bud preparing to face Canelo, who better to learn from than the man who already cracked the code?
Yeah, y'all gotta show my fighter a little bit more love than that now. You gotta realize, we put our lives on the line. It's blood, sweat, and tears. See, a lot of y'all sit behind a computer and write about us fighters, but you guys never take the time out to really go in the gym and see what these guys go through. Now, on media day, you guys do show up. And we appreciate it, because without the media and the support from the people from all walks of life around the world, we wouldn't be where we at. So I want to say thank you to all the media. I know what it takes when it's a fight of this magnitude. And I was the same young fighter before, and I had a dream. It's no different from other young fighters that I believed in, that I said was going to be good and great someday. Just like Gervonta Tank Davis, he was in the same shoes you were in, and they didn't believe, but then when it happened, they believed, then all the jealousy came.
So when Canelo tried to press Floyd, Bud wasn't just protecting his mentor, he was sending a message. You don't walk into Floyd's house and flex.
You say, I want Canelo. Is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Majimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
And let's be real, Floyd knew exactly what he was doing. He thrives on drama. For years, Floyd's been calling out Canelo, saying his resume is padded, that he handpicks fights, and that he'll never live down the loss from 2013. By inviting Crawford into his gym, Floyd basically lit the fuse.
Like you said, if this Canelo fight, you know, if you're able to be successful and victorious, like how important is it for you to be able to rank yourself amongst all the top guys that ever did this thing?
It'd be great. You know, that's why you take the chance. You know, this is by far the biggest opportunity, but the biggest risk that I ever took in my career.
Yeah.
You know, and I understand what's at stake, and I understand the level of competition that I'm up against, and that will make it great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what all the great fighters will want, because it's a high risk, high reward type of fight. You come out on top. Look at everything that's gonna happen after that. You one of the top 5 fighters in the world ever, bro.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Where you rank it? Because I put that on Twitter. I said, if you beat Canelo, I put you in my top 5 ever.
He poured gasoline on a fire that was already burning. Floyd gave Bud the stage, the confidence, and the platform to confront Canelo head on. Now it's no longer just a fight. It's a war that started in Mayweather's gym. To really understand why that punch matters, you have to look at the bigger picture. Crawford is moving up in weight, chasing greatness, while Canelo is the king at the top of the mountain.
I feel like Canelo's a fucking pussy. That's just my opinion. Because if we ever fight, the man is making well over $100 million. You know what I mean? If, let's say, he's saying that I don't have nothing to offer, that I'm nobody, that I need more experience, this and that. If you're gonna make $100 million fighting somebody that has no experience, that he sucks, this and that, all this shit that they've been talking about me, why would you not come beat my ass and collect a big bag on my head after the fight? Like, this is the same shit I'm doing with David Moreau. You know what I mean? It's the hardest fight, but fuck, I'm not scared of nobody. You know what I mean? I like I said, I embrace the challenges. So for Canelo and his fans saying that I don't bring nothing to the table, I don't do this, I don't do that, man, they're all scared, just like how he's scared. You know what I mean? And if he wants to come prove that I ain't shit, come prove it in front of everybody. It's that easy.